Well, son of a bitch. Hello. Hi. I forgot that I had it set to monitor only and forgot to turn that back on. So yeah, no mic. Well, at least I know that that works. Let me reiterate the things that I've said. I beat Hi-Fi Rush yesterday. Sorry I didn't stream. I had like pain in my neck, literally. And I had laundry to do. I had ice cream. Hi-Fi Rush real good. Highly recommend it. And I'm excited to get through this. I was saying I'm on chapter 8. I'll try and get to chapter 9 and then we'll call it good for the evening. Probably, depending on how long that takes. And then probably no stream tomorrow because it's Friday. I typically don't stream on Fridays, but you never know. I might. I am kind of out of money, so I can't really go anywhere and do anything. So playing a video game sounds fun. What else? I might try and get through this game this weekend. I don't really have a lot left. I'm about halfway, and a handful of good playthroughs or play sessions will get me there. Oh, I just realized I also have episode Ignis and episode Arden as well. I got a 3-day weekend, so and maybe I stream tomorrow. We'll see. And then after that, my Final Fantasy journey will come to an end for the time being. I'm not gonna do any of my like post series playthrough stuffs until sometime probably in December. And I'll kind of go over everything there. And I think the only game in the mainline franchise that I have not played is none of them. The only tie-in from the mainline franchise that I've not finished is Lightning Returns. Otherwise, I have played all of the mainline Final Fantasy games, typically to completion, and I'm very happy about that. There's a bunch of tie-ins that I've not played. Type O, I've played, got real bored, so I don't plan on playing that again or even attempting to. Tactics I've played, but I've not really given a fair shake. I was kind of hoping for like a Tactics remaster announcement so that I could play that instead of playing.
Do you think we could swing by the cup noodle shop for a sec?
I like cup noodles as much as anyone, but I think you might like them a little too much, big guy.
I'm not doing
There's
the
nothing
fucking
else like 'em.
cup noodle
They're
quest, Gladiolus. I'm sorry.
You make whenever you've got a craving.
Let's see. No, it was, which is part of why I was like holding out hope that there will be a remaster. And who knows, maybe there will be next year, in which case I'll visit it then. I do have some like bonus games for my series playthrough that like I'm just gonna play eventually, much like a lot of games that I play. I do want to play through World of Final Fantasy. I have that as well. That's kind of like a nice little wrap up gift for like everything through 15, which I could play.
Really looking forward to Iris' cooking.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
Potentially.
Don't be that way. It's different when a girl cooks for you.
I don't know. That game seems like it might be annoying, but like I love Final Fantasy, so it is possible that the amount of like bullshit fan service that's in it will be exactly what I want. I do want to play Tactics. If I were to play Tactics, I would want to find a way to get the PlayStation 1 translation onto the PSP version of the game, which I think exists. Just because I think I would rather play with the original translation, however good or bad it actually is. I think With 7, the second game in the remake, the 7 remake series coming out early next year. I think I'm gonna replay 7.
Let's get a shot with the lighthouse. Hair blowing in the breeze. We'll be seaside supermodels.
Let's get a shot with the lighthouse, hair blowing in the... Yeah, sure. Whatever. Just for you, Prompto,
Seaside
because it doesn't take
supermodels
much
it
to
is,
do
then.
this.
Oh yeah! Seaside supermodels.
Let's see, what else? I think... Oh, yeah. So, I do want to
Take a
play
shot from
through
here.
7
Good
Remake
call.
again.
Now it's picture
I would
time.
like to play the Integrate stuff. So, that'll be post 16. I'm hoping to be able to get that PS5 within the next 2 months. I should be able to.
Let me get this shot.
Just because. We'll see. Where'd she come from?
We ought to hold on to this one.
I didn't. Haha. And I think that's it for like tie-in games. Can't think of any other tie-in Final Fantasy tie-ins that like are worth playing that I've not already played. Oh, there is that stupid 4 After Years. Nah, no, I'm not gonna play that shit.
Done took your sweet time. Here.
Play that shit.
You slack. If y'all are having car trouble, Cindy's your girl.
Where's she at? I would like actually legitimately like to talk to her. So that she can fix my fucking car. Cause we're, we're leaving for a bit. Cat quest. No, I must not. I cannot. Only main quest. Push forward. Let's go. Once you depart, you will lose access to the open world for a while, and rental chocobos will automatically return to the post. Set sail for Altizia? Yes. Waiting for you in Altizia. Be there as fast as I can. As fast as my widow eggs will kill me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited to finish this so that I can start up Blasphemous 2. Looking forward to that. Although I am contemplating playing through Sea of Stars before I play Blasphemous 2, considering I have the whole month of September in front of me. And Sea of Stars looks like a game that I would quite enjoy. Plus, it's on Game Pass.
Look, Prince Noctis, even the Marshal came to say goodbye.
I am also probably going to try out Starfield. Yeah, I have too. It's been getting some really stellar reviews. I don't really hold much weight in reviews, to be honest, but like,
Something I gotta
it's
get off my
nice to
chest.
see something that I'm interested in getting relatively universal praise.
I'm sorry. Sorry I wasn't there for your father.
That leads me to believe that I have good taste, which I know is not true,
I
but
swore
you know.
an oath to protect the king, but I wasn't strong enough to uphold it.
Ain't nothing nobody could have done to stop what happened.
Yeah. I realize that.
But you need to realize just what you mean to the boys by your side.
I do.
Even if they can't solve your problems, you can't hide what's going on from them. It hurts like hell. Remember, those ain't your bodyguards. They're your brothers. Trust in them, always.
So I've listened to the embargo for Starfield went up at noon today, and my my podcast feed was flooded with like every video game podcast I listened to posting something that pertained to Starfield. Of course, they're all like 2 hours long, which is great because it makes my day go by faster. But so far, what I've been hearing is general praise. Who have I listened to? I listened to the VGC podcast. They like grew up on Bethesda games because they're all young kids. Makes me feel old. And they loved it. They despite one of them was just like, feels like the finished product of what they've been trying to do since Fallout 3, and I don't know how I feel about that personally. And I also listened to the Nextlander podcast, which is ex-Giant Bomb folk. Vinny and Brad seem to like it quite a bit, or at least they enjoyed it enough to continue to try playing it. And Alex bounced off of it for all of the reasons that I typically bounce off of a Bethesda game. But it is a part of Game Pass, which I still am subscribed to because I'm an idiot. And I just like to throw away money with video games. But that means that I don't have to buy it, which is perfect for me because I have it pre-installed already. It's like 117 fucking gigs. I have it pre-installed. I will be playing it next week to try it out because, like, I just want to try it. It's not free. I'm still paying for it. I'm just not paying $90 for the premium edition to get it a day early. I'm paying, I think it's $18 a month to have access to it until I stop paying $18 a month, which is perfect. Other games that are in that, like Sea of Stars is also a part of Game Pass. So, like, I'm kind of getting the best of both worlds in that regard. So, you know, it works. It works out for me in the long run. There's something else that was on Game Pass that I finished up recently, and I was like, ooh. Wasn't Hi-Fi Rush. That is on Game Pass because it's a Microsoft published game, it's a Bethesda published game, but anyway. But yeah, no, I saw that, like, I think part of why Starfield's getting some, like, average scores, like, I've seen a couple 6s and a bunch of 7s. I think a lot of it is just because, much like with No Man's Sky, not to compare the two directly, much like with No Man's Sky, it seems like the people that were reviewing the game went in with expectations that were unrealistic. Like, they were expecting the game to be like Bethesda's take on No Man's Sky, which, from all accounts, that's not what it is. All accounts are just like, it's just Fallout in space, which, fine. That's fine. That's a lot for a lot of people. I don't like their games very much. I love space. So that's why I plan on giving it a shot. We'll see how it is. I won't stream it at all. I don't need that kind of smoke. But that's a me time thing. I'll put like 5 hours into it and be like, yeah.
You can never have too many tools. Here, learn to wield not only weapons, but magic as well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm excited for it only because, like, it's a big release. I don't gotta pay for. It's a big release. I don't gotta pay extra for. How's that sound? That makes me feel better. Saying it that way, because I do pay for it. I do be paying for the video games.
Waiting for an invitation? Get your asses on board.
All right. Thanks, Sid. But enough about that. Back to this game that I'm playing currently. We're now on to
Your Majesty!
the railroading to the end, essentially.
Please!
If you've never
come
played
back
Final Fantasy
soon.
15,
We need our king!
and you're here and watching me.
Count on it.
This is the part of the game where, when it first came out and people bitched about it, this is really what they were pertaining to. Not particularly this chapter. I think it's, chapter 12? Chapter 11? But, like, we're in chapter 8, heading into chapter 9. We're out of the open world. This is we're into the linear section of the video game, and this is the part that kind of drove people nuts. I think we get to do a lot in Altesia. Like, we can run around that town and do a bunch of stuff, so it's not completely railroaded yet. Maybe it's after chapter 10. I didn't hate the linear section. I like that it wasn't that long, to be honest. And then it kicks you back to the open world, sort of, towards the end of the game. We'll get there eventually. And it's a little weird. And it has a decent post game. Like, you can do a bunch of shit in the post game. You get a flying car. Chapter 9, Callings. Noctis receives a warm send-off as he sets sail for Altesia. In high spirits, the prince goes forth ostensibly to seek the blessings of the Hydraean Leviathan, which will enable him to challenge the Empire's might. But his true heart's desire is to find Lunafreya, his betrothed. Because he loves her. It is kind of a bummer that, like, you only really get to explore one continent, and then you go to the other one, which is where we're going, and you only really get to interact with, like, the major city there. But, I mean, it's fine. This game's a mess in all of the ways that a game could possibly be a mess and still be playable. I don't know. I like it. Mostly. I like it mostly. That fight with Gilgamesh really sucked and pissed me off quite a bit. The rest of the game's not done anything like that to me. So, yeah. It is what it is. And it's not because I'm playing on New Game Plus. I've already put my time into this game. I deserve to have a good little, like, woo, fun times kind of, like, end to this whole experiment. Uriel Plaza, Altesia. I know that guy.
The wedding day arrives, but alas, without the bride. Of course, we've come for the Hydrian, and you've gone to such lengths to prepare.
Merely my duty.
Ah, but for an outsider to lead the Imperial army must be a battle in and of itself. You've spoken to Lady Lunafreya.
No.
That obstinate secretary, standing in the way, while you rush off to slay the Hydrian for your poor sister's sake. I know the price of the Covenant.
All right, we've got some more proper nouns that I know nothing about. Honestly, it's part of why this game has, like, kind of,
I've always wanted to
kind
go
of fails
sailing
in a
like
lot of
this.
ways.
Not
It just
many
introduces new
opportunities
things.
living in insomnia.
Out here, it's just us and the horizon. It's amazing. It's life-changing.
We've quite a ways to go until we reach Altesia, so keep gushing to your heart's content.
When we step off the boat, we'll be in a foreign country.
The anticipation alone is a foreign sensation.
Then to think this is where we were headed to begin with.
We've been through a lot.
And there's still more to come.
So next on the docket is Leviathan.
What sort of deity are we dealing with?
So I could skip this, and I will once they stop talking.
We'll have to see for ourselves.
Can't let Lady Lunafreya do all the heavy lifting. You must be so psyched to see her.
Luna,
Yeah.
And
Well, we need to make sure she's all right before anything else.
Indeed, her well-being
but
is
how
top
am I steering
priority.
when nobody
Don't
is
like this going down on Imperial
piloting
turf.
the ship?
You think Lady Lunafreya's in danger there?
The Empire did invade Lucis for the ring.
Weird.
I have no faith their ruthless ambitions will stop short of harming
Magic.
the Oracle.
Without the ring, the crystal's no more than a rock.
I suppose. Does anyone know how Lady Lunafreya came to have the ring?
It seems likely
I do.
His Majesty entrusted it to her safekeeping back
Not
at
quite.
the Crown City.
So she's held onto it this whole time, all the way to Altesia.
Sort
the
of.
ring is important, and so is Leviathan. But Luna comes first.
You know, I was thinking back to our encounter with Ravus. Do you recall an apparatus in place of his arm?
Yeah, I remember.
Seems he lost his old one in the invasion, but in its place, he seems to have acquired new power.
Power?
That would help explain how a son of Tenebrae suddenly came to command Niflheim's army.
Now that
So,
you mention it, his strength did seem sort of
if you've not watched
supernatural.
Kingsglaive,
I just chalked it up to the Oracle lineage.
His ancestry may be
Ravus
part of it,
loses his
but
arm
that
because he
alone
tries to
wouldn't
put
account for
on the
his
ring of the
freakish strength.
Lucii,
I wonder what
and
could have
it
happened to him.
engulfs his left
There's a
arm
disturbing
in
rumor
flame,
about
and he
Lord
loses it.
Ravus has taken to brandishing his majesty's sword.
My dad's.
Then what's the big idea behind that?
That his power's the same as the power of kings?
I cannot say for sure, but I have my doubts. Ravus wears the sword, yet doesn't wield it.
For all his newfound powers, he's still the Chancellor's lapdog, holding on to the enemy king's sword like some badge of honor.
It might help if we knew what he was after.
Who can say?
What are the odds the Empire will crash the pool party with Leviathan?
Consider it a guarantee. They felled a god to prevent Noct from receiving his blessing. They'll do so again.
But we beat him to the big guy.
Who, the
Thanks to
Titan?
our
Oh,
friendly
Titan.
guide.
Never know which way that one's gonna move next.
The Chancellor has an agenda all his own.
Sometimes it helps, like when he called off his army and let us escape.
But he was still a creep about it.
Well, feels like he's only helping us because he wants something. I just don't know what.
Reckon we'll see him again?
Certainly hope not.
Not your type?
No love lost for phonies.
As Gladio
So,
said,
Arden
his actions are
kind of gives off
motivated
some
not by altruism,
Kefka vibes. A little
by
bit. A
self-interest.
little bit. He hasn't really
And
truly
when he
revealed
does
his
come to our aid,
100%
I see
evil
only
self yet.
condescension in his eyes.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
Ever think you think too much?
Sometimes, but it's always preferable to the alternative.
So, soon you'll have your old
What?
man's ring back.
Who the fuck is Sid?
When we arrive in Altissia.
Good thing. To him, it was his heritage.
Is that what my dad said?
Carrying a royal line ain't a task to be taken lightly. For a small thing, that ring can sure weigh heavy. After he became king, I only ever saw his face in the paper.
Wait, weren't you at the coronation?
No, I was long gone from the city.
Must have been invited at least.
Had a falling out of sorts with your old man. Right at the end of the trip.
So,
You did?
if we were to play
Understand you stayed in touch.
a King's Quest, I think is what it's called, the beat 'em up, the free beat 'em up tie-in game, we would know how that story actually went, because that game is about Ravus's, or not Ravus, Regis's, is that his name? His quest that he went on with his friends, which I believe included Kor, Gladiolus's dad, Sid.
Well, with Cindy
I think
looking
that's
after
it.
the old girl.
I think it was because
Did you
he had
say
a
she's
he had a
good?
group of
She
4
must
as
be
well.
great.
That game is
She
just a
was
little beat 'em up.
never afraid of hard
Um,
work. Heaven
Good
knows she
download,
had a hard
but
childhood.
it's too late now.
Hard childhood.
He means her parents.
Lost them both when she was little. It was big enough to understand, though, and to hurt. But you wouldn't guess that, seeing her now.
Not at all. She's always so cheerful.
Well, that ought to tell you how far she's come.
Now, you must have seen your fair share of Altissia by now.
Yeah, only done been the once. Stayed a good while, though.
What's it like?
Big old city.
Big. Okay.
Well, it ain't the crown city.
Different. Got it.
You'll see for yourself. Foreign lands seldom lend themselves to trite explanations.
Change of scenery ought to do you good.
Well, I'm all talked out. Can't be far to Altissia now, right?
We'll be there in no time. Nice having the wind at our backs.
Lodgings are our first order of business.
All work and no play?
Make Cygnus a dull boy.
Someone has to babysit you two.
You're welcome to sleep in the wild.
Ain't no hotel, but I know a fella has a place.
Hey now.
Wescombe ran with Reggie and me way back when.
Oh, was he the other one in that photo with the garage?
Yep, runs himself a diner or a cafe or something. Go and see for yourselves.
Sure.
Does the place have a name?
McGee or Magoo or Mago. That's the one.
Nice.
You can count on Old Wes, but he'll chew your ears off.
The government issued a statement promising that the reasons behind awakening the Hydrian would be clarified in the ceremonial address.
Got a signal.
Delivering the address will be Lady Lunafreya, who was previously reported dead. This will mark her first public appearance since the violence that befell the signing ceremony.
Lady Lunafreya's gonna give a speech?
Sounds like it.
Lord knows. This world could use some wisdom.
Won't be much longer now, Noct.
Yeah.
That's cool as hell. Look at this shit. Despite whatever, this game is still real pretty.
Does this vessel have an entry permit?
Entry permit?
Relax. I got one. Here.
That's as old as they get. Seems in order. You may pass.
Prepared in advance.
Could say that. 30-odd years ago.
That's what the guy meant by old.
Lucky us, huh?
That could have ended badly.
I know this game's pretty as hell. I don't. So this is also this particular section also highlights the difference between like the 360 era and the PS4 era of gaming to me. Like, this is really pretty. This is a pre-rendered cutscene right here. It looks the same as 13's. Like the model detail on each of my characters is of higher fidelity. Obviously, the PS4 was a proper HD system, whereas the 360 wasn't quite. It was like a half step between standard and HD. I mean, the 720p still technically high definition, but it's not true high definition, not full HD. So like my character models are clean and look pretty nice, and there's little like details in there that look really nice. The world looks really good. My frame rate's gonna just get destroyed here because there's too much going on. You can even tell already. But
sir, what is the purpose of your visit?
Purpose,
like overall, I don't see too much of a difference between the 360 and PS4 era of games. It's very subtle. And honestly, going to the PS5 is even subtler.
Manga is the name, yeah.
Never heard of it. Unless you're referring to the alternate entry program. In which case, you may pay the levy directly to me. This amount should suffice.
How much you want? Like 5K?
Oh, what a racket. This is your trip. You cough up the cash.
3K, that's not bad.
You want to check Wescom's place out?
Yeah, let's all go to Mago.
Perhaps we'll even make it in time for tea.
And we'd better start looking now.
Okay, off we go to Mago.
So, we're looking for the guy from the picture.
An estranged friend of the king.
Noct, you ever meet him?
Nope.
They're extending the exhibit for Lady Lunafreya's wedding dress.
The Vivian Westwood? But wasn't that a memorial for her passing?
Well, now it's a memorial for her safe return. Let's go see it while we still can.
Oh, Could that be the dress we read about in the papers?
Doubtless. The designer's name is the same.
Want to check it out?
That depends on the groom. Might still be a sore spot. What with his wedding getting called off?
Who says we can't call it back on? It can still happen.
True enough. Let's keep an eye out for it.
How about the cafe in the brochure?
Sure, whatever.
Million gil question. What are we eating?
Don't think I'm going in the right direction. Of course, it's down over there. And I'm going up. I don't want to go up. Oh, that's right. There's a Coliseum here.
Oh, there's supposed to be a real good photo spot around here.
Yeah, I don't care.
Save it for later.
Get out of here, Freckles. I remember fighting tonberries here for a side quest. We won't be doing that again. Fuck me up, too.
They spared no expense on the dress. I'm glad I caught it when I did.
The people have spoken.
Good to know the
Here
prince.
it is.
One hell of a crowd.
And that's the dress. My word.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah.
Everyone looks so happy. And it's all because of this one dress.
Yeah.
Real glad for you that Lady Luna Freya is safe and sound.
Well, that settles it. You gotta make it happen. Become a symbol of the peace. After we tie up all the loose ends, let's think about the ceremony.
A fine idea.
Yeah. I'll think about it.
So that's a Vivian Westwood design. Vivian Westwood is an actual designer in the real world. This was, you know, this is post Lightning being a model for, was it Gucci or Dior? One of the two. Maybe, I don't think it was Balenciaga. May have actually been Vivian Westwood. Either way. Like, it's proto, like, something like this. You see something like this. You see Cup Noodle in the game, like legitimate sponsors and things like that, and like actual in-game advertising shit. And it doesn't take much to understand how the people in charge get to NFTs.
If we win at the arena, let's grab drinks to celebrate.
Because it's all a fucking fad, and it's all like, hey, I want to do this thing because it's the thing that is hot right now, and it's all fucking stupid. All dumb and a grift.
Did you see that over there, Noct?
What about it?
How in the do I get to where I'm looking to go?
Aranea really impressed me today.
With her outfit?
Well, yeah, that too. It's just, I always had this impression that the Empire was filled with nothing but jerks.
She certainly doesn't fit the mold.
Really makes you wonder. You think she was okay with the raid on the Citadel?
Ask her yourself.
How the fuck do I get over there? Cool. Have to find a boat. Gotta get on a boat. Oh, there's a gondola right there. Oh, hold up, buddy.
Is it evening already?
Time flies. Gondola. Care for a ride?
Where am I going? I don't know where I'm going, man.
Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure.
All right, I need to get over here. There we go. Oh, it says Mago on there. If I just read, I would have been able to see what I was looking for.
So what next? Fantastic. Call when you need a ride back.
Thanks, Gandolier. We're here. Yay. 2,000 experience points for that? Sure.
Welcome to Accordo, lads. Sid mentioned you'd be dropping in. What's come?
Oh, no, my God, we should check out our wine list. All wines are selected to complement our seafood and salad dishes.
As you've gathered. So this is your maiden visit. Enjoying it so far? You
No.
doubtless have many questions, so ask away.
This country is a part of the Empire, isn't it?
Oh, you're wary. I understand. But there's no need to jump at every shadow. Just be aware that the terms of our independence grant the Empire free reign to come and go as they please.
His mouth looks weird. Far too much teeth.
Admittedly a one-sided arrangement. Most everything we do requires Niflheim's permission. And they wouldn't knowingly permit the Oracle to appear before the public. How our government spun that is quite a mystery.
You really think Luna will make an address?
If every recent radio broadcast is to be trusted, absolutely.
Where is Lady Lunafreya?
In the city somewhere. But no one has caught so much as a glimpse of her. The media has been conspicuous in its silence on the matter, which speaks volumes of government
She is here, though.
intervention. That certainly explained the rumors of disgruntled Imperial officers leaving the city.
Has anything changed with Leviathan?
For now, it's business as usual at port. But word is the government will soon open the altar of the Tide Mother.
In preparation for the rite.
Ah, but on the other hand, they're scrambling to stockpile emergency provisions. This begs the question, if they're anticipating that the Hydrian will wreak havoc, why would they allow the rite to proceed?
There is all kinds of weird shit going on with his animations.
So you see lots of nifs around here?
We do, sometimes even at my place. Theirs is a familiar presence, and the citizens don't think much of it.
I mean, look at him.
Though the High Commander did cause
No,
a
that's
stir
weird.
when he showed up the other day.
Ravis.
So soon after they felled the Archean and Lucis, his arrival fuels rumors that they will next come to Altisha. The Empire's not content ruling all the land. They want the heavens as well. Well, if you need
Surprise.
anything else, you know where to find me.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yes, small indie
My
company.
dear Camellia, it's been a while.
Be 40 years
I
ago.
heard about your distinguished guests.
Ah, you've an ear for gossip.
Hello, madam, whomever you may be.
Gentlemen, I won't waste your time. My name is Camellia Claustra.
And you're being escorted by Napoleon
Accordo Protectorate.
Bonaparte.
You should know, we have Lady Lunafreya in our care.
Okay.
And the Empire demands we surrender her.
Oh, I would like it if you didn't.
Yet I am loath to acquiesce unless we stand to profit. Hence I've come to discuss terms with the King of Lucis. If you've a mind to talk, come to my estate.
Yes, madam. You and your Napoleon friend can leave.
She can be oblique at the best of times, but I assure you, Her heart is in the right place.
Oh, okay.
At any rate, you must be weary from your journey. Might I suggest you seek your beds for now and ponder matters anew in the morning?
Sure.
Yeah, I think we'll do just that.
Where am I sleeping? Head to the Laville. Okay.
Eat something?
Just out for a romantic little boat ride with my bros. Why not, right? I could skip, but I'm not gonna. Nah, no need. Fishing spot. Well then. Feels weird. I haven't watched an anime in like a month. Yeah. Like a month.
What should I buy?
Doesn't feel right. Maybe like 3 weeks. Almost a month. Last one I watched. Finished watching Birdie Wing. Really enjoyed that. Love me some lesbian golf anime.
Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure.
I've been watching The Expanse. It's very good.
You see this, Noct?
What about it?
And it's on Amazon. Highly recommended.
Gentiana.
Oh,
Ahead
Gentiana.
lies a future uncertain, yet sure is the astral memory, wherein the king may walk.
Through Umbra's power, you can now revisit past memories. Summon him with you when you rest at lodgings. Characters will retain their current level and abilities. Rental chocobos will automatically return to the post. The place you called Umbra will be set as your last rest point. Okay. What? Is it day? No, hold on.
Greetings.
500.
Let's call it a day.
Soft beds, baby.
I want to go in the morning.
Hey, this one's pretty good.
I know. I dig it too.
Too much bloom. Need to bring down your apertures. I don't even know if I used that word correctly. Probably not.
good place to stay.
Well, guess we need to go talk to Camellia.
Yeah, like we have any other option.
There's no telling how events will unfold. Let us prepare before...
Where am I going? Going over here. Oh.
Or making
I know how
our
to get
way.
Yeah, she can sit tight a while.
By a while, knocked. You mean the 5 minutes it's going to take me to get there, right? Right?
Did you see that, Noct?
What is it?
It's a photo spot. I don't give a shit about.
I wonder, is she really gonna leave the army?
You seem quite smitten with her.
Which one is it?
One is what?
Her or Cindy?
RNA or Cindy? Oh, wow. Okay, let me think about this for a sec.
I've no doubt.
Correct.
Both of
On a
them
normal
can wait.
playthrough, that'd be exactly what a while means. On this particular playthrough, it means the 5 minutes it takes me to walk to the palace. Once the negotiation begins, you will be unable to return to the city. Are you certain you wish to continue? Let me save first. Just in case. I'm not going to take a break tonight. I'm going to let ads play. 'Cause I'm only going to stream for like 2 hours. So away we go. I pressed up. The Corio Protectorate, an island nation known for the beauty of its waterbound capital, Altesia.
Thank you for coming.
Uh-huh. The negotiation is about to begin with First Secretary Clustrum. Engage her in a manner befitting a king. Strive to win her trust and cooperation. Does this look like the visage of a king? Because I'm about to be one.
No sweat. First things first.
Express gratitude.
Thanks for coming to greet us in person.
It's the least I could do for a king. Wescombe didn't extend me an invitation, so I decided to extend my own.
Your face looks weird,
Those
lady.
circumstances have changed. Both the king and the oracle are finally in Altesia.
You
Alright.
said that you have
I'm gonna go
Luna
away for
in
a
your care.
Empire demands that Luna be handed over.
Doesn't that pose a risk to your nation?
Is the king concerned for our relations with the Empire? But it's true. The Oracle is a risk, one we are prepared to shed with. Whether we do so depends on you. Now, let me ask some questions of my own.
Okay.
Why does the Oracle seek to awaken the Hydrian?
I have no idea. Nah, we'll be truthful.
She wants to forge a covenant so I can receive Leviathan's blessing.
The answer I wanted to hear. And yet, king or not, it can't be a simple affair for you to receive a god's blessing. Let me be frank. The potential chaos worries me.
Fair.
You know better than most what took place in Lucis with the Archean. Tell me, what happened?
Be truthful. I'm being kingly, damn
I
it.
met Titan, and he gave me his power.
Just like the legends, though the Empire doesn't like the way the story goes. Even as we speak, they mobilize their forces. It seems there's no avoiding chaos. It will most likely come to war. However, I don't care to host a battle on my soil. The gods and the Empire be damned.
I'm going to be realistic.
Not much you can do when it comes to gods.
You'd suggest I accept my city's destruction?
Gotta choose what you want to protect.
I wasn't expecting you to say that. Perhaps you're not as unthinking as I first thought. Without further ado, let us talk terms. If you wish to hold the right, you must ensure my citizens' safety and aid in their evacuation.
Okay.
That's fine, but what about damage to the city?
Your concern is appreciated, but I am prepared to accept some structural damage. Keeping the citizens safe is my chief concern, and therefore yours.
Fair.
And that is not all. Once the rite has begun, I will not be accountable for what follows. You are on your own.
I can accept that.
Not a problem. We know how to take care of ourselves.
Thank you. I'm sorry we cannot do more, but as
Fair.
I'm sure you are aware, few armies can stand against the might of the Imperial fleet. That is all for the terms. To review, you are to ensure our citizens' safety and engage the Empire. Do we have an agreement?
All right. Let's fight together as allies.
Allies? Such a vote of confidence. Well, you can trust us to do our part and keep the Oracle safe. A final warning, though I doubt it'll come to it. My duty is to my citizens. Should any harm befall them, there will be a reckoning for both King and Oracle.
Well, there's... All right, lady. Look. There's going to be some casualties. I can't protect everybody. I can do my best. That's about it. We'll empathize with their position.
All right. You do what you must for your people.
You're just like your father.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You've made the right decision.
Madam, it's time.
Assign
Wasn't really
three
much
you
of
own for the
a negotiation,
effort.
but okay.
Whom you choose is up to you. According to our intel, the Imperial fleet will be 4 warships strong. Steel yourselves for a full-scale battle. I'm glad we could talk. We can each act in our own interest to our mutual benefit.
Indeed. One, the first secretary's unreserved trust. Yes! Let's go!
I can't promise something I can't help.
Of course. You certainly opened up to them, though.
What can I say? I have a soft spot for the young and tragic.
Something's up with her animations, too.
They've lost Regis. They've lost the crystal. Was it so long ago the last oracle was taken from them? We've seen the Empire go mad these 10-odd years.
The day of the right. I'm gonna have a bunch of shit to fight. I was gonna say, where's Ignis? He right there.
During the rite, we must see to it the Empire does not harass Leviathan.
Gonna be tough to pull off before the king receives her power.
And with 3 of us on evacuation detail.
Indeed, the best we can realistically do is to help the Hydrian help herself.
What kind of help you talking about?
Just like Titan, the Empire will seek to immobilize Leviathan.
Oh, with the harpoon things?
If we can dislodge them from the goddess, she will have a fighting chance.
Sounds good in theory, but don't push it. It's pointless, unless you can get that blessing.
Stay flexible, stay alert.
All right, will do.
Lunafreya Nox Fleuret. Very pretty lady. Noctis and Lunafreya have not met in the 12 years since the Imperial conquest of Tenebrae.
If worse comes to worse, you can threaten to throw the trident into the sea. Then they'll listen. In the meantime, it will be well guarded. Better than the Oracle herself.
Understood. I shall reclaim it at the altar.
Remember, you'll be under Imperial watch.
Right.
Think of it as a necessary evil in order to forge the Covenant.
I am in your debt.
Once it's over, you may go as you please, but you do so without our protection.
So be it.
You'd better get going. Your public is waiting for you.
Okay. Well, that... Guys, I don't think you need to point guns at her. I think she understands her situation. It's not like she has any real power yet. Though annexed by the Empire in the war 150 years ago, it retains its own government. That is the Accordio Protectorate. Well, I mean, they want her to do that. The whole point of this.
Knocked. You in position?
Yep.
Don't forget the plan.
You guys too?
Of course.
Not even wearing a hood? Come on, people are going to know who I am. I'm the goddamn king. Like, of course they're going to know who I am.
Talk about a crowd. Like the whole city's come to watch.
She's so pretty.
Dear friends, I stand before you today with little hope the words I speak shall reach beyond these walls. For slowly but surely the light fades from our world, and as it does, the shadows shall loom ever longer until all succumbs to the darkness. Darkness that evokes terror, hatred, and sorrow in the hearts of men. The ashes of Lucis. A dream of peace, twisted into a nightmare of death and destruction, claiming innumerable lives and leaving myriad souls to suffer.
Luna.
Yet I beg you, do not surrender to despair. Have faith, for our gods watch over us. By their blessings, by the stars that light the heavens above, our world will be delivered from the perils of the dark. I stand before you here in Altissia to call upon Leviathan, goddess of the seas, spirit of the deep. By the sacred rite, I will commune with the Hydrian. But first, I offer you my solemn vow. On my honor as Oracle, I will not rest until the darkness is banished from our world and the light is restored. bless you all.
Is that a tear that ran down his face? It looked like a tear. Combat. Win a combat. Comrade is in danger. Oh, I'm getting a message on my ring-a-ding.
Knocked. The Empire's here.
Rise.
I can see him.
Dropships are closing in on the port. Look for a vantage point to approach them.
Okay, look after the citizens.
We got them covered.
So, it begins.
Here it begins. There was a firefight. Not quite. More like a sword fight. Wait, no, there's still a cutscene, isn't there? I don't know why I brought my dumb face back up. Give it a sec. Covenant, device by which the Oracle rouses the slumbering gods and entreats their aid. We got a cutscene. Are we supposed to believe that's her making this? Okay.
It is I, Lunafreya, blood of the Oracle. Goddess of the seas, I beseech you, enter into this covenant that the king might reclaim the stone.
As Leviathan.
I do.
Knocked. The Hydran has awoken.
Civilians?
Almost there. We'll join you when we're done. The Empire has the Hydran surrounded. Hurry, Knocked.
I'm on it.
Then the right's already begun.
Most likely.
Time to lend the Hydran a hand.
See ya!
What's this? Let's do this.
Crap!
Bricks. No. What the okay, game's targeting system. Fucking whack. Like, it only targets those that are in front of you, which, I mean, yeah, I guess it makes sense. Would kind of like it to be able to target things around me. I should probably just leave my camera off for this entire sequence because of how much happens here.
I know what you must know. That the King of Kings is to drive the darkness from our star.
Well, that pretty dress is all ruined now. Getting beat up.
It is in receiving mercy that men offer praise, and in shedding grace that the gods solicit worship. I vow, the king will prove himself worthy.
Knocked. Prompto's headed your way.
But what about you guys?
We'll wait below. There's only room for two.
Knocked! Jump!
What?
No time for questions!
Man. Ah! Go! What was this?
New ride we borrowed from the Nifs. This will get us in close.
Serious?
Here she comes!
I got this.
I'll get as close as I can. Then it's up to you.
All right. Won't be long. Hey, nice job finding this baby.
Well, when I saw her, I knew we'd go places. Not again!
Not making this easy.
Knocked. Hold on tight! Dude! Don't let go!
Heads up!
Knocked! Can you reach?
I'm gonna be nice.
I need your power!
I have to fight Leviathan. That's. And it...
So the only way you'll help me is if I take you down?
Now, about that ring. On second thought, you let him have it. And do remind him about the crystal.
Oh, Prince, your bride awaits.
Ah,
I will
Arden
pass
showing
the
his
ring
true
to the rightful king.
colors now.
When the prophecy is fulfilled, all enthralled to darkness shall know peace.
How sweet. But please, Lady Lunafreya. You first.
think he just very politely told her to go fuck herself. What, did I just go Super Saiyan? Is that what's happening? Oh no, I'm just covered in light. Okay. That's right. I don't feel like I've done like any damage to this thing. More or less because it's a set piece thing, and there really isn't a lot I can do to speed things up. Well, I guess I've done about half damage. It's not too bad. Could be worse. Take another one out. So despite the fact that this fight kind of boring, it is a spectacle, and it, like, to be fair, no one really does spectacle quite as good as Squaresoft. Well, Square Enix at this point. Like, I think every game within the franchise has some form of spectacle. I can ruminate on this for a second while I'm mashing a button and not really doing anything else. Like Final Fantasy 1. As weird as it's gonna sound, like the beginning of the game, after you rescue Princess Sarah from Garland and you cross the bridge, and you get essentially the scroll of the story of the game. That's spectacle. No other game at that time, what, 1985, I think, was doing anything like it. 85 is too early. 87. He's dead. He's dead, Noctis. Final Fantasy 2. The fact that it was a game that had a story with like main characters and shit. No other game was doing that like they did at that time. And that, I mean, you could call that spectacle to some degree. Also the airships. No, not even. Final Fantasy 3. With the leaving the world that you know to find that the overworld is really just a flooded landscape, to then remove the water and reveal an actual livable world. That's spectacle. I think at that time people were doing it. Final Fantasy IV, that intro with the Red Wings and like all the things you do as Cecil, each one, like when you become a paladin, that's spectacle. Games didn't do that.
It's done.
Square did it better than everybody. And it continued. Like 5 had its spectacle, but with the different worlds and with the reveal of, or with the death of Galoof and the bringing on of Krill. 6, literally everything in that game, especially when Kefka win. 7. Just look at 7. It's nothing but spectacle. 8. Like everything there. It's so good. Like, I love this franchise. Everything, it's good in so many different ways. And while it has missteps here and there, they're always doing something with the mainline franchise that feels, if not ahead of the game, then at least interesting and worth trying. I only slightly despise Final Fantasy VII because it blew so much smoke up Square's ass that they really kind of got full of themselves. But whatever, we live in a post-Final Fantasy VII world, and
Noctis.
Square Enix continues to publish some of my favorite games every year, so I can't complain, really. I can nitpick. That's about it.
So, you found your way here.
And you found me.
A chance to see you once more. Who would have thought?
Well, what do you mean? Why wouldn't you see me?
Because my prayers have been answered. My calling fulfilled.
But that doesn't have to come between us.
You are the one, Noctis. The stars shine for you now. That which is yours by right shall be restored to you. Do you remember the flowers of Tenebrae? It seems so long ago. You'll find they await you still, looming from hill to vale. Will you be there?
Would that I could join you. But this moment will have to be enough.
It's not right. All I wanted was to save you.
When the world falls down around you and hope is lost. When you find yourself alone amid a lightless place. Look to the distance. Know that I am there. And that I watch over you always. Farewell, dear Noctis.
I love this imagery so much.
Back with us. I'll tell the others. Though it may take a bit.
You're hurt.
A small sacrifice in the greater battle.
And Luna?
She has passed. Umbra left that for you.
Well, we got what we wanted. Not without sacrifice, but we got what we wanted. All right. So episode Prompto is supposed to be chapter 11, but I honestly think I've seen other things where it's like chapter 13. So I'll probably save it for chapter 13. Maybe I'll do a chapter 11. We'll see. Across the water and onto the rails, the royal retinue makes for Graelia, imperial capital. Their objective, reclaiming the crystal, that they might reclaim their homeland. However, the ring's weight proves too much for Noctis to bear. This is when the game gets weird. Like, really weird. So chapter 9, you still had the ability to explore Altesia and like do a bunch of side quests there. There were like hunts and stuff I could have done within the city, but I didn't, obviously. And then chapter 10, so once you do the stuff with Leviathan, that's when the game really kind of falls off the rails, if I'm being honest. And this is the part that people complain about. Like this part forward. Up until, I think, what is there? I think there's 14 chapters? 15? Maybe 16? How many chapters? How many chapters? Final Fantasy 15. There's 14 chapters. Maybe I do Promptos after chapter 11. Oh, after finishing chapter 13. Okay.
So, we're gonna roll through Tenebrae.
Not before visiting the royal tomb at Cartanica.
You're sure you're up to that?
The wounds have mended. Eyesight's a matter of time.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Chapter 13 is the one everybody complains about. That's right. I remember now.
We're not stopping in Tenebrae. You need to grow up and get over it.
I am over it. I'm here, aren't I?
Maybe when you're not too busy moping, you can look around and give a shit about someone worse off than you.
Let go of me.
How's that ring fit you? You rather carry it around than wear it? She gave her life so you could do your duty, not so you could sit around feeling sorry for yourself.
You don't think I know that?
You don't! Ignis took one for you too. And for what?
Enough, Gladio.
You think you're a king, but you're a coward.
Shut up! Don't do this! I get it, all right? I get it!
Then get a grip. Pull your head out of your ass already.
Knocked!
Leave him.
All right, so we're going to play episode Prompto after Prompto returns. If you're like, returns? What? Well, keep watching. Noctis is free to roam about the train until it pulls into the station.
Hey, we're almost at Cartanica.
I don't need to explore the train. It's fine. Train is now arriving at Cartanica Station. Easy mode assist is unavailable on some more difficult hunts. Probably talking about Adaman toys.
One step closer to finding the next tomb.
Gather information about the royal tomb. Oh, there's one of these I have to do here, isn't there?
If the monsters down there don't kill you first, the smell probably will. What? Was there a gas leak or something? No one knows for sure, and I'm not risking my life going down to find out. If you want to risk yours, though, then be my guest.
Be my guest. Be my guest.
I take it you've arrived safely, Highness?
Safe enough.
Now I've just got to find out where this royal tomb is.
Look no further than the Fodina Castino. There should be an elevator leading down to the quarry from the station.
Roger.
Good luck, and hold your nose.
What? Thanks for the advice, I guess.
I like that we're still doing this, even though, like, my group is not happy with me.
There's an elevator that should take us straight down to the mine. Wonder if the tomb's inside.
Thanks, Prompto. I appreciate you being here for me, buddy.
Bite in that glorified dining car they call a restaurant.
Hey, where's the elevator? Oh. Right here. Hi, Agnes.
Ready to set out?
Yes. You can come with me if you want, bud.
Somehow.
I mean, you don't have to. But you'll get a 6th sense for it, right? Well, a 5th sense, I suppose. Considering as he lost one. Bad jokes. I got him. Fodina Castino. Once rich in resources, this mine fell out of use in recent years and now serves as little more than a watering hole for wild beasts. According to Core, however, a royal tomb lies in the quarry's depths, waiting to be uncovered. I have this one already, as I still have all of them from my initial playthrough. I'm only missing 3. I don't know when.
Well, we made it to the quarry.
I don't think I'm gonna get him.
Likely lies deeper inside.
Feeling a little out of my element.
We're a foreign species in this environment. Mind we don't end up prey.
Right. Good tip.
Ignis walks at a slower pace due to his eye injury. Be sure not to leave him behind.
Footing's bad. Watch your step.
As best I can.
Go at your own pace. We'll wait.
Fuck, maybe I shouldn't have brought him. Fucking off, he closes that edge there, Iggy. I'd like it if he didn't. Ooh, crabs. Somehow remember this dungeon being darker when I went through it last. Maybe it was just because it was nighttime.
Is it too much to ask the royal procession sticks together?
We are.
Just ask you to shut it.
What the hell's wrong with you, Gladio? Get your ass over here. Mr. I went and fought Gilgamesh so I could be a shield of the king? You should be in front of me, Rick. Not yelling at me just because Ignis decided he was gonna give his eyesight up. We'll find out what happened later.
Hey, you should hang back.
Was I in the way?
No, you weren't. It's just...
He's fine. He can take care of himself. He's a big boy. Where do we go? Where do we go from here? I'm feeling it.
Don't push yourself, Ignis.
Gentle sirs, please come this way. Control panel is in decent condition, but the power supply is riddled with
I've got a
rust.
feeling this is the switch that activates that big hunk of junk.
Doesn't look like anyone's tried to use it, though.
I don't think I can do anything with it right now.
I've got a feeling this is the switch.
Hey.
The tomb must be down below.
Whoa, careful, Ignis.
Right.
Backup generators cannot be activated without a key. Okay.
They parked here?
Huh. Wish we could write him a ticket.
Nothing but a giant roadblock.
Ironic for a vehicle.
If we get its motor running, perhaps we can move it out of the way.
How about we flip the switch?
Certainly wouldn't hurt to try.
But I did this already. And I brought Ignis along, so I gotta wait for his stupid ass to get up that goddamn hill. I love Ignis. He's a great character. Probably my favorite of the bunch, to be honest. Especially after he goes blind. Like, he gains some introspection as he loses his sight. And I gain an appreciation for him more.
This looks promising.
Is it operational?
Let's see.
No, it's not. Or it is. It told me it wasn't.
Hey, what are you stopping for?
I'm not. Let's see here. In case of power failure, use backup generators. There's a key in the shed.
So where is this shed?
Well, if we knew where it was, we wouldn't be looking.
Which means it's gotta be somewhere we haven't looked yet.
Keep an eye on Iggy.
Keep both on him.
That'll do.
Get back! These tombs are always in the darndest places.
Glad you're taking this seriously.
Oh, Gladio picked up a mega potion.
Don't run ahead.
I'm not running. I'm walking fast. I'm sorry. Also, who are you to tell the king what he can and can't do? Hmm? Hmm? We'll see what happens if I just walk faster than they do. Have to be a run to get to where I'm looking to go. Wouldn't be the first time I left their asses behind because they were too slow to keep up with me. Won't be the last. I can't go that way either. What the fuck, man? I'm not a fan of a lot of the navigation in this game. Like, it suffers from the same thing that like Xenosaga 2 suffered from, where the maps and the mini-map don't really help you with anything.
Slow down.
You guys are never gonna get up here. I'm not waiting. Go for this. I'll make your way over here. Oh, hey, look, a rest area. There's a rest.
I'm exhausted.
Might as well. All to make Gladiolus happy. Get an attack boost out of it too. Good looking cup noodle.
Took more photos today. You want to see?
No, not really.
Yeah, of course. we should get moving.
Yes, we
You
should.
okay, Ignis?
I'm fine. Don't mind me.
I won't. I'm not gonna run. But Iggy's fine.
Don't run ahead.
Shut up, Gladiolus.
I found it. Up there. Here, I found the key.
Huh. Pretty irresponsible to leave it out in the open like that.
Where is the generator?
Didn't you read the sign, Iggy?
Not funny.
Hey, Noct! Wait up!
No way to work the machine with that thing in the way.
Then we take it out.
Where is it?
Right here.
How does it look?
She's wired and ready. Give it a go.
And don't blow it up.
Oh, thanks for the advice.
Did it work?
Yep. One more to go.
Seriously? Since when are there two of them?
Can it? Let's just get this thing moving so we can get on with our mission.
I'm assuming this is going to take me to where I'm looking to go. Not running, so he can't yell at me. Really, I couldn't just jump over the rail there. Hey, look, there's Iggy.
Power.
Might not have it for long, though. Hurry up and move the machine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so much for sticking together.
Fuck off, dude. Wow, I didn't realize he was this much of a bitch. When this section happens. Jesus. Complain more, you know?
Did you hear that?
Sounds like we're clear.
Grand. Then let's move.
Hurry up, but don't go too fast. Hurry up, but don't go too fast. You're giving me mixed signals here. Like a lot of them.
Hold up. You sure you're ready for this? You got what it takes?
Yes.
To do what?
To face your ancestors and convince them to lend you their strength. Got a long road ahead. Can you see this through? To the end?
Yes.
Can and will. Whether I like it or not, I've got a duty to fulfill. As king.
You're damn right you do. Then that means you'd better start taking this seriously.
Okay, so he's not 100% wrong. Gladio's words spurred Noctis' self-reflection. Now roused, Noctis' vitality has increased by 50%. Cool, I guess.
Good to go.
We did it! Together!
Try thinking of others.
This cave is huge.
The tomb's further in.
You want to wait here?
Alone. Here.
Not what I said.
Oh, man. Something stinks around here. Don't slip and fall and whatever that is. The royal tomb's gotta be around here somewhere. The question is, where? What about over there? Looks pretty to me. What is this?
I hate eggs.
Do we really want to know what's back there? That looks like a mouth. Is that in space?
Hey, look, it's my least favorite enemy in this entire franchise. God, I hate these stupid Marlboros. These whack-ass beholders. It's almost dead. It's didn't even get a bad breath. Why isn't it dead yet?
It's useless.
What do we do?
This might be a good time. Panic.
There must be a way.
Converser, keep your distance and avoid its bad breath.
Hey, maybe get struck.
Whoa! Look who's hatching!
Bust him up.
Flee and regroup? I mean, I guess I could do that.
Here goes!
I don't need to. There.
Whoa! Look who's hatching!
Bust him up. It's useless.
What do we do?
This might be a good time to panic.
No.
Nah, alright, we'll
Must
run.
be a way.
Going it alone, huh?
No. Got away so I could regroup with you assholes.
Whoa! Look who's hatching!
Bust him up.
Feels all tingly! Don't eat me! Don't eat me!
What the hell's wrong with that thing? It's useless.
What do we do?
This might be a good time to panic.
No. There must be a way.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I can. I'm not fleeing and regrouping unless it means I can go in here. But you can't.
There's no way we can fight like this.
Ah. Here. Okay. I just ran in the wrong direction. I only have one Firaga left. Hold on. Let's... I don't need to use the Firaga. Like, it's good. Great, even. Need to make another player. Bare minimum I can get away with for Firaga. 24? Now I have another one.
Knocked. I have an idea. If I may. As I suspected.
It really worked!
Nice one, Iggy.
Now, we've a fighting chance.
Ignis has rejoined the fray. Obtain technique Libra Elementia.
Yeah. Is it dead?
It is! And it's all thanks to Iggy.
Ah, he can't use it. Use the Hyperion at 4. What? 426. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Iggy, you saved us.
Seriously. We'd be plant food if it...
Whisking them just makes a mess. Better fry them.
Oh, I didn't even need to equip it. Okay, cool.
I think we found it.
Just wish they found a better place to build it.
All right, let's haul ass.
Yeah, let's.
Kitana the warrior.
A moment.
Is everything okay?
It bloody well isn't. And I won't suffer this pointless bickering in silence any longer. Let's be frank. My vision hasn't improved, and probably won't. Yet in spite of this, I would remain with you all. To the very end.
Sorry, but I object. War is a matter of life and death.
But we'll be there.
It's not about us looking out for him.
Uh-huh. Well, then he should be free to choose.
There's more to it than just what he wants.
I know full well. I won't ask you to slow down. If I cannot keep up, I will bow out.
What says His Majesty?
Noct, you are king. One cannot lead by standing still. A king pushes onward, always, accepting the consequences and never looking back. Gladio, Noct will take his rightful place, but only once he's ready.
Have it your way. We're still taking a big risk. We better all be ready.
Yeah, return directly to the station. I don't want to deal with this shit.
You guys mind if we stop in Tenebrae?
Might as well hop off.
If it helps him move on.
One sec. So honestly, now is a good time to play episode Ignis because it explains what happened with his eyes, but it does spoil a thing that happens at the end of the game. And while I have played through the game, I don't really want to see that. Episode Prompto, on the other hand, like, they're like, play it after chapter 13 because it spoils something that happens at the end of chapter 13. And it's like, if it's a part of the fucking story, it's not a goddamn spoiler. It's not a spoiler. Like, it's different when it's something like, if you're playing as Ignis and you experience what happens in Altesia as Ignis, but what happens there can lead to a revelation that you won't get until the end of the game. That makes sense. That makes sense because then why play the rest of the game if the big revelation is already happening? But when it comes to episode Prompto, where the end of his episode is essentially the boys getting back together and the end of chapter 13 is the boys getting back together. Like, what the hell is the point? Just play episode Prompto. It doesn't fucking matter. So we'll play episode Prompto once we get him back. We'll save Ignis's thing in for post game just because, and then we'll do Arden's after that. And Arden's is like a sequel thing. But that is how the end. That is how the story will end with Arden.
All set for boarding?
Cannot return after departure.
Yeah. Well, let's roll.
Not doing any of this stupid side quests or anything.
We'll be leaving shortly.
I don't think I did any of the side quests there when I left in the first place anyway.
Yeah. Let us help you. And we're off!
Are we clear?
Crystal. Hey, watch your step.
You're not pushing onward?
Not at his expense.
Fair enough.
Okay, so, all right. This is the information I'm reading on RPGsite.net, a site that I find relatively reputable when it comes to all things RPGs. It says, episode Ignis is a bit of a weird one as it tells another gap in FF15's story from the perspective of Ignis, the brains of the operation. However, there's a twist. Episode Ignis has some choices. Some of those choices can lead to a non-canon alternative ending. However, if you follow the main story properly, it fits right into FF15's main narrative. This one is a little more complicated. The episode Ignis DLC is actually set around chapter 10, which I just finished. But it also contains spoilers for later in the game in its final scenes. Generally speaking, our advice is to start the episode Ignis DLC either after finishing the main game or after reaching chapter 14. So, I think I'll do it before I finish the game. So we'll do it at the beginning of chapter 14. Lion's share of its events happen in chapter 10, however. So if you feel less spoiler sensitive, that's absolutely an option. There's some pretty major events transpire in a large city location of the game. I'll tease you. Ignis will return from those events a changed man, and that's how you know you're ready to start his DLC to learn all about what came to be. As with other episodes, there's some unlocks playing the DLC that transfer back to the main game. So we'll play that after we get to chapter 14. Prompto is once we reach chapter 12. So that's good. And I'm not playing Comrades. FF15 Comrades multiplayer expansion mode is a major spoiler for events in the very final section of FF15. Oh, yeah. As such, you'll want to save starting this for when you reach chapter 14. Truly the beginning of the end. Comrades is a huge expansion, and we've got yeah. I mean, if I had friends. If I had friends that would play this game with me, I would probably play it. I don't, and that's okay. It's a joke. I have plenty of friends. None that want to play Final Fantasy with me, but I have plenty of friends. I'm going to save this because he's just splashing water on his face. Chapter 11, In the Dark. Ignis's resolve forces a reconciliation between Noctis and Gladiolus and restores harmony to the group. With renewed vigor, the four friends reboard the train, head to Tenebrae, home of the late Lady Lunafreya. Ah, okay, never mind. We're going to end. Okay, all right. So, after chapter 13 is over with, I kind of want to play episode Ignis now. But no, after chapter 13 is over with, we'll play episode Ignis. And then we'll do episode Arden. And then we'll finish the game. Yeah, okay.
Feels good to ride the rails.
Sure does.
Eager to drive once we're in Gralia?
Really, I should be playing Ignis now.
We're
but-
fortunate to have the regalia at all. We owe the First Secretary our thanks.
She'd get more thanks if she gave us a discount.
Those transceivers are top-notch. I recall when the Hydrian raged. In the midst of the Empire's retreat, one conspicuous craft remained behind. The Chancellor's. The last thing I remember seeing was his ship, heading for the altar. I fell unconscious and was powerless to stop him.
I'm just glad you're alive.
Oh. Is someone else there?
Gladio. He just came back. Where did he go anyway?
On a brief reconnaissance. Something caught my ear.
Hey, Captain. Mission complete.
Splendid.
So what caught your ear?
Rumors of longer nights.
They've been growing longer day by day.
There was talk of it back in Lucis, but recent days have shown an unseasonably sharp change. Should this trend continue, before long...
There won't be daylight.
Well, it's not out of the question. The Empire's already slain half of the Six. No wonder the whole world's in disarray.
I guess.
And longer nights mean more demons.
Seen that with our own eyes.
I happened to overhear a fellow passenger discussing this very same phenomenon.
So he sent yours truly to seek him out.
Nice police work.
Well, don't want to keep him waiting.
No, we don't. Back in a moment.
Sure.
Whoa! Oh, there you are, buddy. Did you see this? Oh, it's unreal.
Yeah. Never seen anything like it.
But what
Doesn't
is?
make any sense.
No good will come of that. Dun dun.
What's going on?
It's a real mystery. I'm not liking that snow cloud. Kind of gives me the chills. Like, who comes up with this stuff? I couldn't dream something like this if I tried. It's a wondrous world.
The hell are you doing here?
What's going on?
Easy there, buddy. Oh, didn't see that coming.
Shut up! Be careful there!
Wait, is this for real?
What? Oh! Show yourself! Knocked.
That son of a bitch.
Come on, Knocked. You're scaring me. Seriously, man. Cut it out. It's not safe. Plus, you're causing a scene. Quit playing around, okay?
You think this is funny?
Dude, are you seriously trying to kill me?
Why wouldn't I? I've got you now. What are you after, following me around this whole time? It's all your fault!
What are you talking about? Do you really mean that, Knocked?
What? Are you saying it's not?
Yes. What good would it do me to hurt you?
Who cares?
Knocked. Please, can't we talk for a sec?
Never.
Estelio. The deserts of the western continent have long been littered with imperial armories and outposts. The slaying of the Glacian, however, gave birth to a paradoxical phenomenon: snowfields and sand dunes coexisting mere miles apart. Noctis and his friends would be wise to flee this treacherous terrain post-haste. The Glacian, that must have been Shiva. Actually, I am quite saddened about how little summons matter post like 10. And I say that, but like, I mean, they're practically non-existent in 12. They do exist, but I found them to be utterly useless. 13, they are important, but there's like not many of them, and you're locked into whomever is your leader as being the only one you can summon. And in this game,
Knocked. Are you okay?
they're important, but like,
Wait. He's here.
are they?
If he is, that would explain all this weird stuff happening. I bet he's behind the train stopping.
They're important for
Ignis and
story
Gladio
reasons,
went
but
up to inspect the engine room.
they're
I say
not.
The two of us go check out the rear.
Yeah.
What's happening?
They're important for story reasons, but they're not important to gameplay, like, at all. And that's a problem, in my opinion. But I guess it's a completely different situation in 16, so I'm kind of excited to get back to
Looks like they've got the train
summons.
surrounded, front to back. Head to the next car!
Leave these guys to us.
So much for a safe ride. More of them might be on board. Let's check the rear.
We need to get the train moving again.
I'm sure Ignis and Gladio will come up with something.
I hope so. Let's go.
How bad do you think it is? Crap. The MTs can self-destruct.
We can't let them inside.
Well then, we take the fight to them.
Imperial shock troopers are attempting to blow up the train. Take them down before they get too close. The train takes too much damage. The game is over.
Thing's huge! We've got company!
Sure do.
Let the party begin!
It's us against an army.
What are the odds we'll win? Knocked! He's ready for round 2. He's back on his feet!
There's just too many of them.
Oh. The fun never ends. two. How bad do you think it is? He's back on his feet.
There's no elixirs? Or there's no ethers? It's just elixirs? Oh, there they go.
Knocked! Uh-oh. These guys look like trouble. Get back! Good news, Nox. Ignis just called and said we're almost ready to roll. Finally. Let's get this show on the road already.
Yeah, I kind of deserve that.
Knocked. He's ready for round two. Looks like they've rolled out the big guns.
Prompto, stay back.
Oh, go away. Imperial tank has also begun firing on the train. Point warp the tank and destroy it before it shoots. If the train takes too much damage, it's game over.
Knocked! Hurry! Come on! We're leaving! Look! They're hot on our tail! They're gonna blow us to bits!
What if we blow him up first?
How's that now?
Shoot him.
Oh, now there's an idea.
Imperial assault crafts have begun firing on the train. Point warp the ships to destroy them. Oh.
Every single one of them's a bomb.
Inside, force the shock troopers to self-destruct or use one of the turrets to take down the 4 assault crafts. If the train takes too much damage,
She's gonna blow! Going down. She's gonna blow! Wax him now. That one's next. That'll do it. We'll head back down. Prompto! Oh! Oh! Whoa!
How long were you in the dark?
okay. Well, there goes Prompto. He's off. Episode 12, End of Days. Arden uses a stitch in time to switch appearances with Prompto and tricks Noct into hurting his closest friend. Nevertheless, a king pushes ever onward, accepting the consequences and never looking back. Until it's time to play as Prompto and figure out what the fuck happened. Which will not be tonight. I need to save and then we'll end the stream. Damn, this game's a whole lot shorter than I expected it to be. I think I really did miss my opportunity to play episode Ignis. I should have played it after chapter 10. I'll wait until chapter 13. It's fine. I think I'll play it at the beginning of chapter 13. Just to really screw with everything. Or next stream I play through episode Ignis and then episode Prompto. Do not want to play this chapter right now.
What's wrong? Ignis, you've got to stop this thing. Prompto fell off the train. I pushed him. I mean, Arden made me. I don't know where he is, but we can't leave him.
Stay calm, Noct. I'm as concerned for Prompto as you are, but stopping the train would endanger everyone on board. We'd be sitting ducks for the demons.
What do we do?
First, we drop the passengers off at Tenebrae. We'll be arriving shortly.
What about Prompto?
Given the Chancellor's involvement, it's probable he's no longer where we left him. In any case, he may try to contact us. Let us wait and hope for now. Can you make your way here? Gladio's with me.
Are the two of you okay at least?
Yes.
Okay, on my way. I'll be there as soon as I take care of these stowaways. And
oh, there's a lot of
got
those.
worse.
Can't save right now.
Keep coming from.
I don't remember this part.
Can't take much more of this.
Maybe I barely do because I played it like really late at night or something, which was my MO. I used to do that a lot. Can I save? Damn it. Actually, hold on. If I load... Yeah. I have the autosave. I also have... the autosave. Okay. All right. That'll do it for me for tonight. Wow, I'm really fast approaching the end of this game. I didn't mean. Wasn't expecting that. Honestly, I thought it was going to take me at least another 10 hours, but I also didn't expect to play through on New Game Plus and expected to do a lot more of bonus or the side stuff simply because I needed to make sure my characters were ready for the end game. Turns out my characters are ready for the end game because I'm playing New Game Plus. So, you know, the benefits of having played this already, which is fun. We're getting to the parts of the game that people didn't care for initially. That I didn't have a problem with first. Like I didn't mind anything that this game did. It didn't really stick with me other than I had fun running around in the open world, which I did. I don't now, but I did then. 7 years is a long time. And your opinions on things can change over time, as is the case. However, this time, because I'm kind of railroading the story and just kind of like mainlining it, it's interesting, but it doesn't really feel like there's really anything. I'm having a hard time figuring out what like the overarching thing is, other than Niflheim bad, not Niflheim good. Noctis is the king of kings, and the Ring of the Lucii is important for that reason. And Lunafreya is the Oracle, who is like the complement to the King of Kings. I think. And I don't know what Arden's thing is. He's the Chancellor of Niflheim. Will we get to see Niflheim? No, we won't. As far as I know. We might, but not in the way that we would want to. We don't get to explore it. It's not a city we can actually go into and talk to the people that live there. We know nothing of what Niflheim is other than the Emperor is kind of a shit. But his Chancellor is even more. And yeah, it's like we don't know what Arden's motivation is for whatever he's doing yet. We learn it, I think, at the end of chapter 13, which is why we will play episode Arden before we go into chapter 14. Yeah, I the more I think about it, we should have done Ignis's chapter or episode before we went on to the tomb and fought the Marlborough and everything. I think so. Next stream, either tomorrow or Saturday, will be episode Ignis, and then I'll play episode Prompto immediately. And episode Prompto will, the gang gets back together. Surprise! There, ruined it. We'll do episode Prompto, and then we'll go back to the main game, and we'll play through everything through 13, and then probably stop, depending on how long the 2 episodes take me. I think, according to how long to beat, I think Prompto. Have I seriously not accessed it on this browser? Interesting. Episode Prompto is like an hour. It's 2 hours. Episode Prompto's 2 hours. And episode Ignis is about an hour. So both of those episodes would potentially be a stream in its entirety. We could do those and then play chapter 12, and then save chapter 13 and episode Arden and the end of the game for the stream after this. So I've probably got like 2.5, 3 streams of this left. If I decide to stretch it out, which it's a 3-day weekend, so probably not. Quick. Episode Arden's like 2 hours. Chapter 13 is kind of long, so maybe we do chapter 13 and then episode Arden, and then chapter 14. Chapter 14 could be long, but it's not, because I'm just gonna go to Insomnia and finish the game. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Regardless, thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I hope you have yourself a good rest of your evening. and I hope you'll stop by again in the future. And yeah, maybe tomorrow, maybe not. We'll see. Goodbye.